to Rick's Corner. The man, the myth, the legend. Now on with the show.
Well, after going through my files and I found some more videos on Franco, I found another one, part 2, I'm going to send you. It's about Franco and I talking about different things down at the beach and all the fun that we had and the people that we knew and all that kind of stuff. And I'm bringing this back as Legend Franco Columbu Part 2 Revisited, and I think you're going to like this one as well. Enjoy it.
Welcome to Rick's Corner. The man, the myth, the legend. Now on with the show.
Welcome back. We're here with Dr. Franco Columbu. We're talking about his book, which I'd like you to mention again. The title?
Winning Bodybuilding.
It's an audio book, right?
And it's an audio book, and now you can actually get on the plane and read the book on the phone.
The way to go. That's absolutely the way to go. All right, we're talking about vitamins and minerals and joints and this and that, but I happen to know that Franco has a little thing in his hand, looks like the finger that I have missing, and it's a cigar, and you brought it along as a prop, or what? Where did that come from?
Well, it's not 100% a prop. Okay? And here's the story. Arnold and I, when we get injured and something, we talk about, I say, I got this problem here, I can't breathe. You're like nervous. And then finally we talking to this doctor, he says, no, it's all in your head, it's anxiety. And then we started making fun of that.
Yeah.
And actually helped to get less anxiety. So when I go to Arnold's house, I open his cigar box and I pull out the cigars, and Arnold, he uses Cohibas.
Okay.
I don't want to advertise Cohiba, but, I don't think that's the best cigar. He goes to Cuba, takes off the label, and he brings cigars. So we are smoking cigars. Then I had the cigar left today, around noontime, and as soon as he came in, I took the cigar box, and I have my cigars. I don't have Cohiba, and they have other ones.
Yeah.
And then I took the Cohiba I took from his house that I already smoked, put it in my thumb, in my mouth, and we are playing chess.
So that's where the cigar came from.
So I kept it with me because it helps relax.
I get it.
And I tell you the truth, we smoke on weekend a cigar or two, but very little.
Very little. I have a couple of things that I remember about you. You want to hear them?
Of course, yes.
Okay. I'm sitting home one day, and Franco is over at going to Devonshire Downs, which is California State University in Northridge, and he calls me. He says, "Hey, Rick, I need you to help me out for the Guinness World Records. We're going to blow up a hot water bottle." I said, "I have no idea how to blow up a hot water bottle." He says, "Don't worry, I'll stretch it out and you'll be able to do something with it, but I need a competition," remember?
And I teach you. Yeah, the guy says you have to have a competition because it's a Guinness Book of World Records.
Right. So I go over there and they got a stage set up, and Franco's there with a balloon. I get a balloon. Very nice of him to think of me. I mean, this is when he made fun of me still. So, for whatever reason. But he got me over there, and he's blowing this thing up, and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and I only get about this far, and the thing took off out of my mouth like a hot air balloon and flew up into the sky. It just gets big, and it popped, bang, that's it. So it made its point, and it was on Guinness World Records, then it was on Look magazine, and then it went to TV, and then to YouTube, and like I told you, I was getting residuals off that. I'm sure you are too. But it was a fun time, and they had, remember the guy with the beard that was all bees, and they had all these different people around, right?
Yes, yes.
So that's one instance that I remember him. Then he calls me another day, and you had a Mustang. Remember the Mustang?
Yes, yes.
He says, "I need your help." I said, "What is this?" He said, "I'm going to Westwood, I'm building a chimney, and I need you to come help me mix the cement." Do you remember that day?
Yeah, maybe that day Arnold didn't want to do it.
He didn't want to do it. So you pick me up in the Mustang. We're going up Wilshire Boulevard, which is a main street in L.A. And there's stop signs all the time and street lights. He's going 80 miles an hour, right through them. And I'm holding onto the window like this, thinking this looks like Laurel and Hardy. I'm going to have to jump out. I'm going to get killed. So he gets me all the way to Westwood. We get in the driveway. And I remember you climbed on the ladder and you tell me, "You mix the cement, I'll lay the bricks, and you bring the cement up and down." I felt like Laurel and Hardy because that was a hard job. All day, right?
All day.
I'm up and down that ladder with cement, and he's just sitting up there putting them together. At the end of the day, he tells me, "Let's go train. Let's go work out." I said, "You got to be kidding. I'm exhausted." I'm exhausted.
It's the routine.
Yeah, but he went to the gym. I think I went too, but man, I'll never forget that day.
But, maybe you got more sore, but the truth was that I realized that this was very interesting when Arnold and I we would train, you know, sometimes in the gym, in World Gym, was called Gold's Gym, and then we went to Venice Beach to train, and then after that we would lie down on the floor on the beach.
Right.
And then when we started doing brickwork, I realized it was better than lying down on the beach, because then I didn't have to do stomach anymore.
Oh yeah.
You train in the gym, you go and do construction, and I got all this abdominals.
It's a lot of work. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, all I wanted to say was that Frank Zane, because I competed with Frank Zane a lot. Because Frank Zane, when Arnold came to America, he competed in Mr. Universe in Florida in 1968 at the end of it was a few months. And Frank Zane beat him. Frank Zane won Mr. Universe and Arnold lost. Now I show up here, and then they come to the house, you know, we're always making food for all the bodybuilders. Frank Zane will like have a glass of wine right away, cheap wine I used to buy. And he will say, yeah, he say, I'm going to beat you next. And I turned around to him and say, I will compete with you 100 times, and I will always beat you. I'm going to train you to be committed to be second. And actually I'm going to do that. And you know, and that was interesting.
There was a good group of people back then, of Ken Waller and Zane and Draper and all the guys that trained there. We had a good group of people.
The atmosphere was very important. And when you do work, it doesn't matter if you're doing office work or training, but training even more important, because you know you love to train, or you train because you have to compete, or because you really want to stay in shape. But also you get tired to a point is, why I'm doing this?
Yeah.
You know, people come to the office sometimes and they say to me, they look at me because they know who I am, you know, the bodybuilder guy, and they say, I love to train. And I said to myself, what, are you nuts? I say, I don't like to train. It's work.
It's a lot of work, but
you feel good after.
Yes. Did you have any idea? I get asked this question a lot. Back in the 70s, we had our own nucleus of friends. We had the gym. I did the logo for free, you know. And did you have any idea that 50 years later it was going to be that big and take off and be a famous place?
Actually, when I came to America, Arnold kept saying, you know how many people beat you in America? In America, they have 10,000 gyms. And I said, I don't have 10,000 gyms, maybe they have 1,000.
Yeah.
But we're talking about that then. And today, when I went to Columbus, Ohio for Arnold's Classic, we flew with Arnold's, I flew with Arnold on a plane, a private plane, and he looked at me and says, Franco, there are 80 million people training in America right now. 80 million, you know? Like there are millions and millions of gyms.
Yes.
And that's how much changed bodybuilding.
Totally changed.
You know?
The gym itself, like we said, it was nothing fancy, but it had the atmosphere. It really had the energy. When you went in there, you wanted to work out.
But there were the energy and the atmosphere was very important. First, the gym was all inside the right weights, most free weights. Almost all of them, they were built by Joe Gold, the owner. He built the weights, and if I wanted something, I saw somewhere, either I saw it, I don't know where, and they had a bar that curved like this to the triceps, and Joe Gold didn't have that one. I said, Joe, I want a bar, see my hands doing this, they're uncomfortable. I said, I need to be here. I said, bend them. And the next day he brought one. And then they didn't rotate. I said, no good. I said, I want a ring that rotates and bend. In 2 days, he brought that one.
Yeah.
You know, so we adapted, we made the equipment accordingly, but how the atmosphere was good because we sweated, we take the shirt off, there was no music.
No music, barefoot.
By the way, I have a lot of people who complain in my chiropractic office, says, you know a gym that doesn't have music? Because people say, I don't like the music in the gym. He says, you know, it's a franchise gym. You know, the manager in Chicago probably says the music is too be loud.
Well, in today's gym, they all wear headsets.
The music, that's bad too. Music to listen, music headset during training is a bad idea because it takes 15% of the energy away from your training. The brain to listen to music, and that can cause injury.
I didn't realize that.
It's distraction.
Yeah. No, there's no distractions there. You have one water fountain, one bath, one shower for men and women.
Sometimes there were a lot of distractions when people came in. Like when you came in, you never combed your hair. They were long up to here, and you were always doing this. That was a distraction for me.
You're just not going to let up on me. I had beautiful hair though. But we had a lot of characters then. I mean, guys that weren't even competing, our friends around, you know, like Bob Leff and some of those guys in Beckenfield, they weren't competition bodybuilders, but they were all good guys. So we had a good group of people in there, and Joe was great. He was a great guy.
And by the way, you know, it's very interesting on Main Street in Venice, is where Venice starts in Santa Monica. The gym is still there. It's a house.
I know. I've been inside.
There's no equipment. You've been inside?
I went inside. They had a documentary where they had a party the next day, and it's beautiful inside. It's all hardwood floors and decorated. You'd never know what's in there.
And outside is still written down Gold's Gym.
Exactly. Yeah. What are your memories of the German's restaurant?
You mean you're talking about Satsi?
Is that his name?
Satsi's restaurant?
With the sister? Remember down on the beach, it was the German's 8-egg omelet for $1.35?
Oh, you're talking about, yes.
Okay, and then the sister with the hairy armpits and the food. Do you remember that place?
Yeah, they came to in Europe. A lot of people in countries in Europe, they don't shave under the armpits.
No, but we got a good deal. We had 8-egg ham and cheese omelet and coffee and toast for $1.35.
Because the owner was a German guy.
Yeah.
And when we went there, he never raised the price.
No.
And that's why we went there to eat a lot, yeah. True.
I remember that Clint Eastwood came in the gym and somebody sent him down there and they said, why would you send him to that place? It's filthy. And he came back and he liked it. They thought it was right. It was good.
Yeah, yes, yes.
And now today, also, what I notice, and you go to any of the Gold's gyms, which are everywhere, there's not, if you ask any of the younger guys today, do you know Joe Gold? They haven't got a clue who Joe Gold is. And I said, if there was no Joe Gold, and none of the guys back in the 70s bodybuilding, or the logo, you wouldn't have a Gold's gym today. This is what put it on the map.
Yeah, it was very fascinating. Actually, if you look at it, it is a good people to tell him the history. He built this Gold's gym. When he built it, he sold it. When he sold it, then he built himself another gym called World Gym.
That's right.
Why a World Gym. And both became a franchise, but Gold's Gym became first a franchise with this other owner who bought it. And when he bought it, he told Joe Gold that, you know, I have Gold's Gym now copyrighted. You cannot use your name.
Exactly.
And that's why he put World Gym.
Yep.
You know, changed.
And then he came to me and he said, since you did the logo for Gold, would you do this for World and draw me a gorilla? And I said, sure. And he was always really nice to me. And it did really well. I mean, the franchise of World did very well.
But as soon as I saw it, I was mad at you because I said, where's my face?
Oh, well, it's your face, isn't it?
There's the deadlift with the bar band. That's all me. Abdominals, I take it.
Yeah.
But it's the arms are hairy. Look at this here. Well, and then it looked like,
well, that's what you looked like back then. You were like this.
And I wanted to go to your Gold. I said, where's my picture? Why you don't put my picture in there?
I remember on the T-bar, there was a picture of you doing the T-bar. It must have 10 plates on it, 10 45s on it, maybe more.
Yes.
That's a lot of weight.
I used to fill it up at the end, yeah.
You were extremely strong. I mean, beyond anybody else.
Yeah, because Arnold calls me like I'm a monkey, like a gorilla.
Yeah.
You know, gorillas are very strong.
He teases you, but he loves you. That's all. It's all within love. But today, since we're very close in age, do you still train that? You still train hard, or you just?
I train sporadically. Yeah. And I'm trying to. For the last 2 years, I'm talking to myself that I'm going to train steady.
Yeah.
And eventually, I said to me, even in the gym now, I put some equipment, it's lightweight, and I'm going to be doing more training there, you know?
Yeah. I talk to myself at night like you do. I say, well, tomorrow I'm going to do the dumbbells, and I'll go to the gym and I'll say, I think I'll use the machine. I just, for some reason, I don't want to pick them up anymore because, like you say, that you get unused to it.
Yes. Here's the idea. The truth is that the reason why there are 80 million people training in America today, for example, number one, they are there to do weight training for different sports to improve. Every weight training. Number two, you use free weights. You can have them home. You can have like 2 5-pound dumbbells, and you can do 25, 50 exercises. Number three, you can use a rubber band by the door. You can do the train. However, though, people use weight training bodybuilding and weight, and exercise in the gyms, for everything you can think in America, all the way for let's say a heart rehabilitation, a patient rehabilitation of any problem, including then training for another sport. Like when you did wrestling, if you didn't train in our gym, probably you would have lost more times in wrestling.
I wouldn't have had the drive like I had training.
Yeah.
It gave me a lot of drive. I mean, you guys were competing in bodybuilding. I did a few small shows. I said, I can't make any money with trophies. I'm never going to be a Mr. Olympia, but I'll make money in the ring and have a nice body. So I utilized it towards making money that way. And training with all of you was inspirational. We all worked out hard.
I was very impressed with you, actually, because I said, you were not trained to compete. You had abdominals, you had a good build, but not close to compete. Maybe you could compete in Mr. Venice Beach.
Yeah.
However, because you were doing the heavy training with weights, when you invited me to the wrestling and I went there, I realized why he's wrestling. He will grab the guy and throw him up in the air, and the guy is like falling down, and then he will jump on top and sit. And I said, no wonder he trains in the gym.
Yeah, you got to do something. Here's another thing I want to bring up. Back in those days, we ate real food. There was really not much in supplements. There were very few protein supplements. Wheaters, did you take Wheater supplements?
No, we took Rio Blair supplements.
I was just going to say that. We took Rio Blair's.
We worked for Joe Vida.
Right.
And we had Rio Blair's supplements that were better than Vida supplements.
Yes.
And I had them all lined up in the kitchen, and Joe Vida used to come every week, and he would look at the Rio Blair vitamins and minerals, and he would say, oh, you got to try my vitamins. And Arnold would say, no, these are better.
Then on my right up by my kitchen window, you'll see a statue sitting there. Would you bring that to me, please? I got to show Franco this. Rio Blair had the best stuff. Wheater, I never really, although I liked Joe a lot, I never trusted the supplements. I think they were all sugar.
But there are different reasons.
All right, you're going to get a kick out of this. I made this thing out of paper mache.
Huh.
And what it is a Rio Blair vitamin B bottle.
Unbelievable.
And inside the bottle is a light bulb. So I put it together one day at the beach, and I went over to Aaron Brothers and bought some paper mache, and I started sculpting it, and I did this, and then I let it dry, and then I bought a little paintbrush and some oils, and I started painting them. So I've had this thing 50 years.
And actually the spouse is Joe Vida's spouse.
It is.
Yeah.
But it looked kind of like Franco. So actually this is you.
Yeah, couldn't have.
But that is made out of a Rio Blair vitamin bottle and a light bulb.
That's so interesting that he knows about Rio Blair. This is in the 70s, remember, we are talking about. And Rio Blair brought his vitamins, and he was like a doctor in nutrition. And actually, these vitamins worked. Like I even have today, in my office, I produced like a lecithin cholinenositol.
Yes.
And that is the best to get definition, because it gets rid of the fat in the liver, and I manufacture them today similar to what Rio Blair did.
Yeah, cholinenositol, it's a fat burner.
Yeah.
And he also had hydrochloric acid tablets to digest your food.
They were the best.
Yeah, they were strong.
They were strong.
Like little white balls. You throw them in your sink, and your sink would explode.
Actually, I have to tell you the truth. In the health food store, the strong stuff you're talking about is coenzymes, really. And what it is HCl, hydrochloric acid.
Hydrochloric acid.
And if you go to the store today, you get 3 or 4 enzymes, papain, pineapple enzyme. And HCl is usually 50 milligrams. And I manufacture them now for 350 milligrams because they were too weak.
Yeah.
And 350 milligrams, what he had then, and that I have now in the office, and I get the best results from that.
Yeah, if you eat a big meal and you're really stuffed, you take those, it'll help you digest that.
Yeah, take 2 or 3 of that, actually.
Exactly.
Yes.
I have another question. What are your feelings about bodybuilding back then, which is the golden era, which we were a big part of, and that's always going to be a part of history, as I do on this show, and then bodybuilding today with the bodybuilders, 280, 300, 330 pound bodybuilders. What do you think? What's your feelings about that?
Yeah, the different stage. And that's why I was playing chess with Arnold today, and we talked about that.
Yeah, but you guys talked about me a little bit? Did you tell me you were coming here?
I told him I was coming to see you.
Was he happy?
Say hi to Rick.
Yes.
And I still remember Dick Tracy in the gym. Oh my God! He said, of course I remember. Yeah. And he asked me if you're still wrestling.
At 74.
Yeah.
Tell him yes. Tell him he needs to come over here and sit and
Take
talk.
a shot and I show it to him.
Okay.
I see him today.
Okay.
However, though, to get back to the bodybuilders,
Yes.
a bodybuilder has to look like as big as he wants to win Mr. Olympia, or just to look good on the street. You want to be attractive. When anybody comes from the street, they should go and say, I would like to have that body.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to look like, oh, I'm going to win, but I don't want to look like that.
No, like an elephant.
And the truth is, what caused a bodybuilder to be good, and that's what Arnold always told me. I was like, I got a little lazier. And he said, Franco, get back to this. You only did 9 reps, you have to do 2 more. Because you're supposed to do 10, but now you rested, you have to do 2 more. It was the training who makes a good bodybuilder.
Yes.
And you have to get it in your head, or you'll never win. Then people are now taking the easy route. One of them is machines, and the second one taking different types of steroids and growth hormones.
Exactly.
That causes, for example, it looks like to me that the same guys seem to win, steroids or no steroids.
Yeah.
And here is why. A growth hormone, for example, doesn't discriminate. People need to get that in their head. What I mean by that is, you want to take something to grow muscles. The problem is that grows the organs too.
Right, exactly.
That's why they have the bigger stomach, because the liver, the pancreas, the stomach, all the organs grow together with the muscles when you take growth hormones, including the body fat cells.
Oh, that's
so they're just bigger.
Yeah.
And then from overtraining, they get enough definition to win. And sometimes whoever is more capable of tucking his stomach in wins.
Yeah, that's true.
That's how bad it gets.
Well, overtraining, back in the days you were competing like that, you did a lot of forced reps, obviously, and a lot of heavy weight. But don't you think rest was a huge factor in recovery to get what you wanted?
But you have to understand your body. You don't do the same thing. That is one of the things I like to give this information to the general public. When you get a trainer, you should get a training program individualized for you.
Right.
Like a woman, for example, should never train the same reps and sets as a man. Mm-hmm. A man that is too skinny does 10 reps in general, 10, 12, 8, to grow muscle. A woman is supposed to, in general, she wants to get elegant, lose body fat, make the muscle longer, lean. That requires 20 reps plus.
I see.
So you don't do 10 reps as a trainer to a woman and to a man, to an older person, to a young person. You have to look at that person and say, with you I do 50 reps. Like, for example, I have people who came, the thighs are too big in women, and they don't have too much fat, and underneath is a thick muscle.
Yeah.
What happens is, if you don't get the definition and you do, let's say, heavy leg press, the muscle gets thicker and looks more fat, and it's not.
Right.
So that the women, so they go to the gym and they say, you have to do 100 reps. I said, 2 sets, 100 reps. He says, what? They don't let me on the machine to do so many reps. I said, then don't do them.
Do you think the same diet works for women as for men as far as watching your carbohydrates?
Close to it, very close. In women and men it's slightly different. The men requires a little bit more protein than the woman per pound. Let's measure it per pound. That's how the body is done. In other words, if you weigh 100 kilos, usually eat 100 grams of protein per day.
I see, okay.
And then if you want to grow muscles, you increase it 10% or 20.
If you're going to increase your protein, then you got to work out hard to utilize it, because protein also can be stored as fat if you have too much, right?
Yeah, converts it into fat. Yes, but it's even more than that. Like people take more protein to compete, and they don't know another step. The hydrochloric acid we mentioned, the enzyme, the digestive enzyme. If you eat 20 grams of protein more to get more muscle, your body doesn't produce the extra one. That's when you take the ACL.
I see, okay.
And then one more thing, B6. B6 sounds like nothing. Says, oh, I take B. If you take more protein and you're training hard, B6 is essential to take a lot more than regular, because B6 helps convert the protein into amino acid into muscle and transport it into the system.
I see. I didn't know that.
Little steps are helpful.
No, I didn't know that.
I'm going to charge you for that.
Oh my God. Okay. I'm on a senior program. Don't charge me too much. I want to talk a little bit more about the audiobook right now.
Yes.
So let's let people know where it's available and what it's about and how to get it.
Rick, can I get the copy of the audiobook, the cover there?
It's available audible.com, iTunes.
You see?
Okay.
This is the original cover.
Okay, we'll hold that up. Okay. This is your audiobook, and
then we have this flyer for the audio.
Okay.
And obviously, I'm so happy to be doing this because number one, this is the best book I like.
Yeah.
And the reason why it was out of print is because the company was sold.
Oh, I see.
Because Contemporary Books was bought by another company.
Okay.
And then went out of print, but to be and now you can, it's a collection. It's a collector's item. People buy them and resell them. But I love this where you can put it on the phone.
Yeah.
And do it.
It's a great idea. Well, you've got a world of knowledge, and I know a lot, but I learned a lot more just by having you here because there's things I didn't know. And you've been doing it for so many years, and you're living proof of what it's all about. You look fantastic, but you're also very smart.
Very soon I'm going to get younger.
Yeah, I'm working on that right now.
Okay.
If people want to come see you, your office is where?
My office in West Los Angeles on Westwood Boulevard.
Okay.
Like 2 miles south on the same street of UCLA.
Okay.
And I work part-time there, and people can come in for training programs.
Okay.
And for chiropractic care.
Okay, is there a website?
I have a website, COLUMBU'S.com, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's not about the office, about...
Okay. All right, we're back on Rick's Corner. We're with our publisher, Rick Newcomb, who publishes Franco's book and mine as well, and he wants to talk a little bit about the books and what they're available and what it's all about.
All right. Well, I want to thank you, Rick. I want to tell you the story of what happened. I've known Franco since 1981. I went to him as a young bodybuilder saying, can you design a program? He designed one, and the results were phenomenal. And I've been following those same program, and we've stayed in touch and been friends over the years. So at Creators Syndicate, we set up Creators Publishing. We're publishing books. And I said to Franco, well, what happened to some of your books that are out of print? Who has those rights? He said, I have the rights. I said, well, let's see if we can't publish them, both as ebooks and paperbacks. And in the case of Winning Bodybuilding, why don't we do that as an audiobook? Now, I think that last 6 hours and what we did mainly was have conversations. And I've been training my whole life, and I'll tell you, I learned so much. I just can't recommend this audiobook more highly, which you can find on audible.com or iTunes, or just check out creators.com, the website, and then type in Franco Columbu, Winning Bodybuilding. In addition, I think I'll mention a few of the other books we're publishing. This one is coming on strong, that we offer as an ebook and a paperback. It's Franco's autobiography. It's fascinating. One of the things that really struck me is, there are 2 islands off of Italy. There's Sardinia and Corsica. And Corsica is part of France, and Sardinia is part of Italy. And very few people know much about those islands, but that's where Franco grew up. And he was a sheep farmer as a kid. And he would lie out under the stars, and he writes in this book about how he acquired a natural serenity or a calmness. And if you see now, he's not so far from 80 years old, yet he acts like he's 30 and looks like he's 30. So I think that's totally related. He tells in the audiobook how he had never seen a television until he was 16. He was in Munich, Germany, and they had a fight on television. Emil Griffith, who was a boxer, a very successful boxer, and very muscular. And Franco said, that's my dream, is to go to Madison Square Garden and have muscles like that as a boxer. And as it turned out, a few years later, he was in Madison Square Garden with muscles as Mr. Universe. And he talks in the audiobook how you set big goals, but you can reach them, but they don't always come about exactly the way you expect. But you can reach your goals. All right.
I want to say that
please do.
You didn't mention it, but actually, I wrote another book, and it was for people to train, for businessmen people. It's called Businessman's Guide to train into bodybuilding, and on the cover I have like a shirt, no shirt with a tie, and Rick is the demonstrator in the book. We took a lot of pictures together training, and so he's before and after in the book, and it's incredible. Not only before and after, you look so much better, but this is now so many years later, and you look the same.
Thank you. I hope it's the after. This is the book.
This is the book.
This is
Yes.
the paperback version where you actually put on a shirt and tie. But in the hardcover book, you had the bare chest and the tie. There's also, and we published that. That's available again now as a paperback it's available as an ebook. And this one also is available as an ebook, Franco Columbu's Complete Book of Bodybuilding.
In this book, everything is in there. You read this book, you become a champion. You don't even have to train.
And while we're here, I thought I'd mention that for a few years we syndicated Joe Weider during the end of his life. And I got to know Joe very well, and I just cannot say enough good things about the guy. And so after he died, we took a collection of his columns and published them as a book called Ask Joe Weider, which is available on Kindle and Nook as an ebook. Also, somebody I met at World Gym who knew Franco and Arnold 35 years ago, Jackson Yee. Jack is a Chinese American from Northern California who's a school teacher in Massachusetts now, and he has a terrific book called Mental Toughness Training. And this is a picture.
Look,
Franco,
champion.
I was doing the press behind neck, which he says don't do anymore because he has too many patients come with neck pains. But anyway, this is
Rick. Can you believe this is Rick training?
Back in the day. What else do we have? Oh, then we have Rick Drayson. This is Rick Drayson's book. And we're getting a lot of positive. People who read Rick Drayson's book just love it. Because Rick, like I said the last time I was here, Rick is becoming a legend.
Well, there's more to it than bodybuilding. I have a musical background, art background, and all that stuff. So that's all in the book as well. But
what I like about you were with us training for years.
Yes.
You learned everything about training.
From you.
For bodybuilding and also for wrestling.
Yeah, you're my hero. You know that.
I came to downtown to see our wrestling matches when you won.
And then you came all the way to the Valley today.
You never let me go in there when you lost.
I don't want people to know when I lose.
I just want to say one thing that affects everybody that I learned during the audiobook with Franco. He mentioned earlier that Joe Gold was a welder, and Joe Gold would design equipment. So Franco would say, can you make the bar curve? Can you make it rotate? This wasn't when they used to do, when he and Arnold started doing incline presses, they had a standing incline board where, like one time Franco said the weight was too heavy and the bench collapsed on Arnold when he was trying to keep his feet on the floor and so they persuaded Joe to do a seated incline with an incline that would gradually go up with you could either do it really steep or really. But the point is, companies like Cybex and Flex, and I don't know what the names are, but all of the gym equipment that you guys are using, almost all of it was designed actually by Franco Columbu telling Joe Gold how to do it. Yeah. And then later, the designers at these equipment companies said, oh, that's what we've got to copy. I just think that's phenomenal.
Amazing.
What an imprint.
I never thought about it, but maybe if a company would have hired me to do that, they would probably be number one. I never thought about it.
No, but that wasn't your path at the time. You chose your path, as we all did.
Yeah, of course.
And we're all happy with what we did. Thank you, Rick, for all that info.
Okay, Rick, I want to thank you for letting me be on your show. I'm so impressed. I didn't see all these years.
I know.
You're incredible.
I really appreciate that, Franco. You're a great guy. I love you, and it's so nice to have you here. And thank you, viewers, for watching. You've been asking for Franco for a long time, Dr. Franco Columbu, who actually adjusted my neck on the set of Sextet when I had a headache.
Oh, yeah, in the movie.
Yes, you cracked my neck, and I saw stars forever, including the stars that were on the set. But I think it's awesome that you're here, and I really appreciate you taking the time to come over here.
Thank you very much.
And I will do the same for you when you're ready.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for watching Rick's Corner, and we'll see you all next time. Hey everyone, now you can have the Gold's Gym logo drawn by me, the artist Rick DRASIN, personalized and made out to you and signed by me to frame and put on your gym wall or wherever you see fit to do so. It's a piece of bodybuilding history. It will never be duplicated again. It's the largest selling icon t-shirt logo in the world, and I'm the guy that drew it, and I will draw it for you. Just go to my website, rickdrasin.com, and order there. You can pay through PayPal, and it'll be sent out right away. And be sure to watch Rick's Corner for all the videos on bodybuilding, nutrition, fitness, pro wrestling, and anything that suits your interest as far as getting physically fit and being the best you can be from the golden era of bodybuilding.
It's Rick DRASIN. He's the equalizer, baby. See you next time.